Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Cambium Networks. Today's host is Alan Yu. He is their Director of Product Management and will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Alan can answer them at the end of today's presentation. Alan, thank you so much for being with us today. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to join Microcom today to give an overview for cnWave 60 GHz product. So this is the new product just released from Cambium. And you can see we have 3 models will be a part of this portfolio. The V5000 model, and it's a distribution node. So the V5000 will be act to form a distribution layer with other DNs. Meanwhile, the distribution node also be used as access point, just like the normal PMP product. We can serve up to 30 devices by the V5000. Out of this 30 devices, 4 of them could be the DN to form the mesh. 2 sectors of the radio, and when we connect the CN device, we have 2 different models here as well. One model is V1000. The V1000, the mid-gain client node. So normally we cover 200 meters to 250 meters. Of course, depending on the run rate your location is. The second model is the V3000 model. The V3000 model is a high-gain client node, so we can shoot for longer distance. In the multi-point, we can shoot from 400 meters to 600 meters, depends on the run rate as well. Our radio are software-defined radio, so we can support point-to-point, point-to-multi-point, or mesh. Our radios can be, when you do the point-to-point, it can be a mix, so we don't need to be like both ends to be the same. We can do the V5000 with V3000, or 2 of the V3000 or 2 of the V1000 for all those kind of configurations. The radio is Telegraph certified because our radio is 11AY based. The 11AY standard will be ratified. We think probably will move to 2021 given the pandemic we have. So the AY provide a much better performance compared to the initial 11AD. The AY not only bring more capacity, it's also with improvement on the Mach and Phi to make the network synchronized using the TDMA structure, so we can provide a more guaranteed throughput and more consistent latency. This will really give a good guarantee or performance foundation for mesh support. With all the product, we have cnMaestro as the NMS for the system. cnMaestro is the one panel of NMS from Cambium to manage our Cambium portfolio. So when you think about the solution, the cnMaestro offer the gigabits connectivity. We use this one for if we use this one for connection with the Wi-Fi device, and with cnMaestro we can manage the Wi-Fi, the CN pilot line. We have the cnMaestro, cnWave, and we could be, if we're using for the PMP like ePMP or PMP for Microcom, this can be all managed by the single cnMaestro platform. The radio support beamforming on the 60 gigahertz. The beam width is relatively narrow, but with beamforming, we will be able to scan the whole range. So the installation becomes super easier. More than that, we also make the network do the auto provision. So once you have the network set up, the configuration will be pushed down from the end-to-end controller to all the devices. So we really remove the kind of like configuration work in the field. So the installation will be far easier with both the beamforming capability and auto provision capability. So this is kind of like a very high-level view of the 60 gigahertz. So where are we used for 60 gigahertz? Generally speaking, 60 gigahertz is short distance, high capacity. And because we deliver multi-gigabits capacity for using the 60 gigahertz, this is the first time enable us to really offer equal or even better performance or throughput compared with the fiber and cable. So we can deploy this technology in the urban market to provide an alternative high-speed broadband service to the urban market. And we can also use this one to provide the backhaul for like outdoor Wi-Fi coverage in the city. Some of the municipals, when they offer the Wi-Fi, they need a backhaul, and then the 60 gigs could be a backhaul for that. We also see this one can move to the deployed in the urban market and the suburban market and the rural market. Because the generally speaking, 60 gigahertz with high capacity, short distance, we're not trying to do any coverage, solve the coverage issue. So when we go to the suburban market, we're still looking for those density, the density with the high density in like a community or a village center in the rural area when people is more tight together. And if you look at the like rural broadband solution, we're using the 5 gigahertz to do the coverage, and then we're using the 60 gigahertz to offset the traffic from those hotspot area. So those kind of like the residential side. On the other side, the 60 gigahertz can be used for video surveillance backhaul, outdoor Wi-Fi backhaul. So this is kind of like smart city deployment. And this is really, we formed with the mesh, we form a redundant gigabit backhaul layer to support the cameras or Wi-Fi traffic. This can also be used for enterprise and enterprise market or the campus hospitality area, where people make the point-to-point connection or a network connection between buildings or hospitals, restaurant, hotel. We see that applications today in our some of our trials and some of the RFP we have won. So when we move into the specific product details, so the first model is V5000. So V5000, we have two sectors here. Every sector covers 140 degrees. When we look at a network, one important thing is on 60 gigahertz, because we're relatively short distance, you will need multiple nodes to cover a big area. And when we backhaul those traffic, normally we're using the 60 gigahertz to backhaul itself. So in every single location, you need more than one sectors to cover the area. So when we design the radio, we have designed this specific one with two sectors, and every sector with 140 degree. When the data transmit from sector to sector, like a relay configuration or a mesh configuration, you do need data transmit on different direction. With this configuration, all the sector in a single radio, we remove the dependency for any external switch. We also simplify the power supply, makes things far easier. So without channel bonding, we will be able to support 3.8 gigabits per sector, and with two sectors, it's become a 7.6 gig radio design. The radio is hardware ready for channel bonding. The channel bonding means we can combine two adjacent channels to form a wider channel using the 4 gigahertz channel without changing the hardware. When we're using the channel bonding, we will be able to double the capacity. So the radio become a 15 gig access point. And we can serve up to 30 devices, as we said earlier, with the latency less than 1 millisecond. Depends on your packet size, we're seeing is from 200 nanoseconds to 800 nanoseconds for the one-way latency. So the second one, the second model is a V3000 model. The V3000 model is a high gain client node. So the reason we do the high gain client node is sometimes you have in the multi-point configuration, you may have a few customer or CPE location far away from your AP, from your access point location. So with this high gain dish, is a 44.5 dB antenna, we will be able to shoot for 500 or 600 meters, depending on where you are. And also we can use this V3000 model for a dedicated point-to-point link. When we do the point-to-point, we can shoot for over 1,000 meters or 1.5 kilometers. In the extreme case, I mean, it's all about link availability and ring rate. So in theory, you can shoot for 4 miles, but then your link availability could be an issue. The other one unique for V3000 model is we do the beamforming even with the reflect dish. We still support beamforming. So we do a 4-degree horizontal and 2-degree for elevation. With that, we will be able to make the installation work much easier compared with the model without kind of beamforming capability. More importantly, because the beamforming is not just it's automatic beamforming even after installation. So in the case if we have say a strong wind twisted the installation a little bit, we do not need to send people go back to the site to realign the radio. The auto beam forming will correct the say the misstep and make the link work in best performance. The radio has 3 interface as well, same like the V5000 model. We have the 10 gig copper and we have the 10 gig fiber as well. We also have one auxiliary port with 802.380 output, so you can power an outdoor device like a camera or a Wi-Fi device. This can be anything can be 802.380 compatible. We can power that. The third model we want to talk about here is the V1000 model. The V1000 model is a mid-gain client node. The mid-gain client node is ready for kind of like a medium range in the multi-point configuration with V5000. We're talking about 200 to 250 meters range. That will still give you a gig capacity for the customer with full night link availability. We're using the single copper cable, so give you a 1 gig interface there, and using the 802.3 AF. The power consumption is less than 10 watts, so this really makes it possible to using a solar panel to power the radio. It's pretty small. The size is, I can see it's 6 by 4 by 2. So it's quite small if you do the installation in the field. As we said earlier, all radio are software configurable. So we're not, so we can do point-to-point configuration. If you want to do a longer range point-to-point, we can using the V3000 model. We can also do point-to-multi-point with the V5000 as the DN or access point, and we're using a mix of V1000 and V3000, depends on the distance we want to connect. Then we can support mesh. The mesh will be formed by the DN layer, and every DN can connect up to 4 DN on the other direction. So we can form a mesh. Not only mesh can extend to the network, overcomes obstructions we may see, it also provides redundancy in the case we lost a radio or a path is blocked for whatever reason. The data will be rerouted with the redundancy, so give you a much resiliency for the network. Last one we want to point out is we talk about mainly we talk about the fixed wireless broadband service. We talk about smart city, Wi-Fi backhaul. They also 60 gigs can also be a good solution for small cell backhaul for cellular networks. In the for the 5G network, we're talking about people need about talk about over a gig capacity or 500 meg minimum. With 60 gigahertz, we can do point to few point or dedicated point-to-point link to provide gigabit connectivity for small cell backhaul. So 60 gigahertz, we have done many trials as of today. They are deployed in all continents from US to Asia, EMEA, and EMEA market. And you can see some of the installation pictures here. And the configuration include point-to-point and point multi-point, and also mesh configuration. customers covers from the operators, mobile operators to ISPs, and also the utility customers, municipal, some of the city government. So it's a combination of different deployment. So the trial is quite successful. And you can see one of the example here. This is one actually. You can also find the application letter in news announcement in the cover web page. This one is from NextLink, ISP in North America, in the multi-point configuration. You can see we can reach to 1.8 gigabits per direction in the multi-point configuration with the, actually this one is using the V5000 at the DN and the V3000 at the CN. And you can see all other pictures we have, the deployment here. We're not only offer a product for the, just offer the solution, we also provide the planning tool for easy planning. So there's two different planning tools we are available for cnWave network planning. One is Link Planner. If you can download Link Planner from Cambium support webpage. From Link Planner, we support both point-to-point and multi-point configuration. We also, once you finish the design, you can also see the BOM creation from there. So it also have the engineering report for the installation. From the other tool we offer is the Advanced Network Planning tool. So the Advanced Network Planning tool is available on to our distributors partners. What Advanced Network Planning tool difference is, this is more focused for the mesh network designing. Such as, like, see, we want to, in this example, saying we want to do a community coverage. So we know we know what service we want to provide, and we will let the tool to decide where we're gonna put the DN nodes, where we're gonna put the CN location, and based on the ROI model and also the radio characters, the EMP tool will come up with a proposal with the balance between your budget and radio network performance. So this is kind of like a tool. It's not just for engineering stuff, but also with ROI model built in. If you want to know more details about the planning tool, please feel free to contact our channel partners. You can also, for the EMP tool, you can also use the Link Planner to do the point-to-point or point-to-multi-point configuration with cnWave. All right, let's talk about the radio, or get some ideas on radio performance. So in this case, this chart basically show a V5000 model at the DN with V1000 or V5000 model at the CN or DN connectivity. So we're using the 4.9 link availability in this picture. Let me bring my pen here so we can get a little bit idea. So the left chart, this one show a 4.9 link availability with a rain rate of 46 millimeters per hour. This literally covers most of the North America area, and this is region K, kind of like region K rain rate. The chart on the right is saying if there's no rain, what its performance will be. So kind of like during a normal day, this will be a normal day radio performance. So the vertical shows the throughput, and the horizontal line show the distance. And we're showing the one-way throughput because cnWave today will support symmetric capacity for uplink and downlink. Because when we do the mesh, we want to make sure all the direction has the same capacity. So it's 50-50. In the future, we will support point-to-multipoint. If you're using this one dedicated for a P2P link or a point-to-multipoint link. But as of today, of the first release, it is 50-50 for uplink downlink allocation. So we basically showing one direction capacity. So with this numbers, you can see is when the radio within the 150 meters, the CN will receive over a gig per direction. So basically aggregate will be 2 gig. When the range is between the 200 to 250 meters, depends on which channel you're using, the per direction throughput will be about 500 meg. So aggregate will be a gig. That kind of like where we see the 200 to 250 meters range come from. During the normal day, when we are doing the 250 meters range or 200 meters range, you can see your normal operation per direction throughput will be over 1 gig. So totally it will be 2 gig in aggregate. This capacity is much higher compared with fiber or cable. But today's cable, you could have, even with the DOCSIS 3.1, you could have up to a gig for downlink, but uplink, downlink for a gig, but uplink normally the limit for several hundred meg. But with cnWave, we can do symmetric capacity, so offer more capacity compared with cable or fiber solution. The second chart shows a V5000 with a V3000 in a multi-point configuration. The V3000 with a high gain dish, so we can shoot for a little bit longer distance. So if you look at here, if we're within the kind of like 400 meters, actually we will be able to exceed, we will be able to achieve over 1 gig throughput per direction. When we move down to kind of like between 400 to 500 meters range, if we're using channel 4, we can do over 500 meters range. Then the throughput become going down. At this range, we can still do 500 meters, 500 meg per direction. So in the 450, like here's 500 meters range. Still same thing in a normal day. If we're on the like 500 meters range, actually per direction throughput is over, it's on the top capacity, which is 1.8, 1.9 gigabits per direction in the throughput. So the last one, the chart showing V3000 to V3000 model. So basically you can see we can shoot for longer distance. This is with the 4.9. We're showing 800 meters to 800 meters range, and the capacity will be about a gig per direction. During the normal operation, you can see we're on the top capacity here. So in summary, from us, we really think about the design is focused for the lower total cost of ownership. With the V5000 model two-sector design, we remove the dependency for site router for traffic cross sectors. We also think about when we need multiple units to cover the area with mesh. With this 280 degree, we reach a pretty good balance between the coverage and the nodes we need. For all the design we have been engaged, we only need a single radio per tower. So this really gives a significant cost saving. More than that, with the combination of mid-gain and high-gain client node, we can meet different range of requirement for your deployment. Beamforming auto provision makes the installation far easier. So this really simplifies the work in the field. Channel bonding ready, hardware ready. We will be able to double the capacity with future firmware upgrade. This gives you the protection for future capacity growth. All radio are outdoor rated, IP66, 67. We can also support very high density deployment with 30 devices per V5000. So we can serve provide high capacity for high density deployment. Single NMS, cnMaestro, and easy planning with Link Planner and AMP tool. I think this really give a good way or good technology to enable people to deploy high capacity, to offer gigabits capacity for enterprise customer or residential customers. With that, I think this is kind of like my last slides. So Judy, back to you. Let's see if we have any questions we want to address.
Thank you very much, Alan, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, we do have some questions. Let's see here. Let's get started with the first one. Regarding cnWave, do they come in packs? Customers need to, do they come in packs, multiples, or do customers need to purchase them separately?
So basically, when we sell the model, the V5, we sell the individual radios, like the V5000 radio, V1000 radio, and V3000 radio. We do not create a kind of like a kit or a pack. When customer buy the V5000 radio, it comes with the radio itself. It has a cable gland. But because there's different way you can power the radio, either PoE or DC power, you can using fiber or copper. So we do not come with a PoE module or a mounting bracket because it could be wall mount or pole mount. Same thing for V3000, have so many different options for power supply and cable connection. But for V1000, the kit will include all the things like PoE modules, the power cord, mounting bracket. So this is, you buy the radio, it comes with everything in the box other than Ethernet cable, those kind of thing. So for the customer, you still need to order individual radios. We do have the order guide for cnWave, which is shared with all the channel partners. If you want to order a cnWave radio for your network, please feel free to contact our channel sales representative, or you can also reach to Cambium salesperson to help you to define what the BOM. Link Planner gives you the BOM automatically as well after you finish the design. So either way, you should be able to see what you really need to order for cnWave.
Thank you very much, Ellen, for answering that question. Next one here for you. Can the cnWave be pre-configured before shipment?
Yes or no, because already, as we said earlier, there is no, you don't need to pre-configure the radio. So the setup is the configuration will be pushed down from the site. So all you need to do, let's say if I bring the radio, I bring a new V1000 to be installed. What I need to do is when I'm on site, because of beamforming, I just need to point the radio to the right direction. I don't need to do the radio installation. Once I do the alignment, I scan the you need to confirm the MAC address. You can scan the MAC address by the barcode, and then you put this MAC address in the network, saying this is the radio will connect to this DN. All the configuration will be pushed down from the DN to the client node. If you add a new DN to an existing network, same thing, the configuration will be pushed down. When you replace a failure device, you don't need to back up the configuration either. The configuration will be pushed down once the RF link is established. All is done automatically, so it's literally zero provision. We do not require any field engineer to do any configuration in the on-site. So can you do the pre-configuration? There's no need for such. It's zero provision for the cnWave installation.
Thank you very much for that, Ellen. Next question here for you. It seems like a similar question, but it says here, can the cnWave be configured remotely using cnMaestro?
Yes, I mean ultimately the configuration is pushed down from the using the cnMaestro, but we also provide the onboard end-to-end controller or onboard kind of like cnMaestro thing. So if you're running a small network, let's say you do a point-to-point, or you're doing a small scale point-to-multipoint with less than 21 nodes, you could enable the onboard end-to-end controller. Then everything will be pushed down from this POP site or the onboard controller location. If you are doing a large network, let's say I'm doing several hundred radios or for a city coverage, and then I will push down everything from cnMaestro. The cnMaestro will be my kind of like center of control for the configuration to be pushed down.
Thank you very much, Alan. Next question here for you. Regarding cnWave V5000 dual sector, will this work with a mesh setup as well?
Yes. So let me change the slides to the next one here. So the V5000, it has two sectors, and as we said, we can connect up to 4 DN. So if you have one DN here, you could, every sector can support another 2. So let's see, I have another V5000 here, right? I have another V5000 here. I have another V5000 here. And I have another V5000 here. So basically, I could make a connection. Each V5000 can connect up to 4 DN or another 4 V5000, right? And this device, same thing. It can connect to another up to 4 V5000. Let's see, this two is connected. So then you start kind of like form the mesh or ring, provide redundancy. So each of them, they can do up to 4. And when each of them, let's see, when this one using this one as a mesh to form the mesh with other DN, at the same time, this V5000 can also be used to as access point. So you could connect to, from the same device, you could connect to like the V1000 at the CN or a V3000 for longer range at the CN. You can connect up to 15 devices. If you have 2 CN connected already, then the number becomes 13 because we can only support up to 15 per sector, and totally will be 30 devices for the whole V5000 model. So the answer is yes, you can use the V5000 to form the mesh. Also, you can use the, at the same time, it will be worked as access point to cover to provide the coverage for the area. It has radio coverage.
Thank you for that, Alan. Next question here for you. Regarding the V3000, will this model be specific for use on Cambium only brand devices?
I'm not sure I fully understand the question. The answer is, I mean, it is a Cambium device. It's, I mean, I don't know what's your, I'm not sure what's the question or behind the question.
Okay, let me see here. It says, will this model be specific for Cambium only brand devices? I guess they're asking if it could be used for non-Cambium devices.
Well, I can't answer the questions without knowing. I think let's try to. If you're saying is, can I use this Cambium radio for other 60 gigahertz vendors product? I think the answer is probably no. But without knowing, you know, like what the purpose is not trying to saying is it will be work with other vendors product. It really depends on which vendor you talk about and also what they can do. But generally speaking, you know, the radio is for it's Cambium radio. You use this one for with other cnWave product line.
Thank you, Wendell. I understand. Last question here for you. If one needed to reach out for technical support, what would be the best way to do so regarding everything that you've talked about today? What's the best way to get some technical support?
So I think from Cambium side, we have custom support. There is an email. You can raise your question to our customer support team through our webpage. There's emails as well to get access. I believe there is a phone line as well. Check the webpage for Cambium support. I think support.cambiumnetworks.com. Meanwhile, I know our channel partners, they also have their support team for both technical side and sales side. So like Microcom, you can also contact them. They have engineers has been trained for the Cambium product as well. They should be able to give you the some of the it could address your question as well. Of course, anything cannot be addressed, it'll be escalated to Cambium, and then our engineering team will get those questions addressed.
Thank you very much, Alan, for answering all those questions for us today. And also, thank you to everyone for attending our webinar. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view this again. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate everything in your presentation today and for joining us today and spending time with us. Everybody, have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Julie. Thank
You're
you all.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.